Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the trim function to remove leading and trailing spaces from a text field in your Microsoft Access database. You know you've seen it before, right? You get some data, maybe you imported some data from a customer, you got an Excel spreadsheet, whatever, and someone has a space in front of their name and it messes everything up. Well, we're going to deal with that in today's video. Today's question comes from Emma in Gainesville, Florida, one of my gold members. Emma says, I get data submitted all the time that I import from text files and Excel sheets, and every now and then people somehow add an extra space in front of their name or their address or whatever. And it throws everything off with my sorting. Yeah, just like Wesley there. See, when you sort that field, that happens, right? Is there any way I can go through all those records and remove leading spaces from those fields? Yeah. Yes, you can. You can use something called the trim function that will trim any leading and trailing spaces off the field. Now, Access is pretty good about removing trailing spaces. Not always. When you enter them by yourself, when you're doing data entry in the form or the table yourself, it will remove those trailing spaces. But there's nothing to stop them from removing those leading spaces. So I'm going to show you a little trick. All right, so this is an expert level video. I consider expert to be between beginner and developer, so you're kind of like middle ground, right? So this is not basic stuff, but you don't need any programming for this, although I am going to show you a little bonus tip at the end for those of you who like programming. Now, we are going to use an update query for this. I'm assuming if you just see one or two of them, you can just click on them and change them yourself. But let's say you imported thousands of records and you got a whole bunch of these that you have to fix at one shot. Well, we can use an update query to run through many different records and make changes to them all at once. So if you don't know how to use an update query, go watch this video first and then come on back. All right, so here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. And we got our customer list in here. And I already put a space in front of Wesley for the title slide. Let me put a couple more in here. I'm put one in front of Deanna, and then maybe Jean-Luc, and then maybe Catherine. You get it, right? There's 29 in here, and a whole bunch of them. There's some spaces in there. And when you go to sort this now, all right, all your spaces are up top, and that's not good. That's not right. We don't want that. So we're going to use an update query to remove all of those spaces. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go create, and then query design. We're going to bring in our customer table. We can close that then. We're going to change the type of the query to an update query. An update query. Now, you're going to have to do each field that you want to. So we'll bring in first name. If you got last name, address, if you know there's spaces in those, that's fine. Do those too. And then down here, I love that trick. Down here in the update to box, we're going to change that to trim, T-R-I-M, and then in parentheses, first name, like that. Now, be very, very careful. Notice what just happened. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Do you see what happened there? Access is trying to be helpful, and it put first name inside of quotes. That's not what you want. I get this. People email me this one all the time. You don't want first name in quotes because that's saying change it to trim the actual word first name. No, we want the field first name in there. All right, so come in here. I'm going to hit Shift F2 to zoom in so I can type in here. Put brackets around first name. I always tell you in my Access Beginner 1 class, usually if you don't have spaces in your field names like that, usually you don't need to put those brackets around that field name when you use it places. Sometimes you do though, like in conditional formatting, sometimes with functions, you always have to remember to use those brackets. So be on the lookout for that. That's what we want. Trim first name. That says take the first name field, chop off any spaces in the beginning or at the end of it, and then set the first name field equal to that. All right, we can run it. Now, I have my warnings turned off. You might see some warnings pop up like you're about to change 5 records or whatever. Say yes. All right, save this if you want to. Right, update, trim, customer, queue, whatever you want to call it. Because in the future, if you import more records that have this problem, you can just run that update query again. Right, you don't have to keep rebuilding this. That's the nice thing about queries. You don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. You build it, you save it, and if you want to, you can put a button on your main menu to run it, right? All right, let's take a look at our records now. Let me close that. Open up the customer list, and look at that. They're all fixed. See? Trim chops off the spaces in the beginning and in the end. Now, there are two related functions. There's ltrim and rtrim for left trim and right trim. You can use to trim from the left side or the right side. Honestly, I never have used those in my 30 years of working with Access. I don't think I've ever used ltrim or rtrim, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention them. Now, in your database, like I was mentioning before, when people type in stuff, like if I come in here and just make this bend, but I put a space after the end of it, okay, Access automatically gets rid of those trailing spaces, but it won't get rid of them in the front. All right. So if you want to make sure that you get rid of those yourself, you can use a little thing called an after update event. Now, this is VBA programming. Don't be scared. This is a bonus, right? It's bonus time. Bonus time. Okay. Right. Little VBA action bonus time for you. If you've never done any VBA programming before and you want to learn, go watch this video. I'll put a link down below. It's about 20 minutes long. Teaches you everything you need to know to get started. And we're going to use something very simple called an after update event. After update runs whenever you update a field. Let me show you. Now, usually I turn data entry off in these list type forms, in these continuous forms. I don't usually let my users make changes here. I make them open up the customer's record and they make the change here. So I'm going to put the update event in this form. So go to design view. Pick the field or fields that you want to, well, you got to do it one at a time, but pick the field, turn off this field list, right? All right, open up its properties, go to events and find after update. This will run after this field is updated. All right, hit the dot button. That'll bring up my VBA editor. And in here, all I'm going to say is first name equals trim first name, just like that. Now, in VBA, you don't have to worry about those brackets, only in queries. Okay? Yeah, I know it's inconsistent and it's weird, but you get used to it. All right? Save it. Close it. Close it. Close it. All right. Now if I go back into Ben Cisco and I type in space Ben and hit tab, look at that. After I updated that field, it trimmed it for me automatically. So if you want to fix that, if you have that happening during data entry inside your databases, right? If your users are doing that in Access, then you can fix that at this level too. You got to do it in each field, or you can do one after update event for all of them, but it's up to you. But there you go. That's how you use the trim function. If you like this video, here's a related one. I cover different string functions, left, right, mid, length, in string. Those are kind of related to trim. If you want to learn more about all these string functions, I cover it in part 1 of my comprehensive guide to Access functions, starting with Access Expert Level 25. Cover all those different string functions. Here's trim, lots of other stuff, including we go over logical functions as well. There's all kinds of stuff. I got like 5 or 6 lessons that are just covering all the different functions that are available in Access. But that is going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.